Well, unfortunately, I'm past the point of subtlety. So, in the interest of time, I'll get right to it. The induction ceremony is henceforth cancelled.
What? You can't be serious! You hype us all up and take it away? There better be an explanation for this.
What's going on here, Miles?
I'm afraid that's a very complicated answer. Let's back things up a few moments. Seer, tell us about the vision you had. Just as I expected. It was only a matter of time before you saw it. That is, if the spirits truly cared about our protection.
Wait, slow down a minute. How do we know nothing was lost in translation? Remember how abstract visions are known to be?
I can confirm that an attack is imminent. Besides, Valessa, you know visions aren't like that. The spirits have gotten strong enough. That's no longer an issue.
But this can't be true.
It is. And unfortunately, it's just the start. There are still some important matters at hand. Before I send you off, I'll tell you everything. I didn't want to tell you until you needed to know. I'm just lucky that this vision waited until I was ready. The Triumvirate wants to occupy Valinorth, as they did Mazeo. I know what you three lost in Mazeo, and I'm sorry, but what they plan to bring to Valinorth is far, far worse. Punishment for my father's involvement with the rebellion.
We're supposed to be nonpartisan.
Yeah, that's our whole deal. Why would your father do that to us?
I'll never forgive you, Miles. Your father is responsible for all of this? He betrayed Valinorth the moment he helped them.
Understandable, but this is not my fault. Surely you know about my father's disappearance. But have you heard the stories of the recent rebel victory?
Rebel victory?
The blade that the seer mentioned. It was taken from the Triumvirate. Without it, they are weak and vulnerable. But it was not an easy feat to accomplish. In their pursuit of the blade, many people died, including the leader of the rebellion itself. The new leader, Damek, sent it here for safekeeping. I hid it in the grand tree where no one would find it. I want you to take it and seek out Damek in Mazeo.
Hey, slow down. This makes sense to you, but it's all a blur to us. Your father was one of the men that died to get this blade?
Indeed he was, Fortem. The rebel leader's death, my father's disappearance, I'm afraid those are intricately connected.
You mean?
Yes, I do. My father didn't work with the rebellion. He created it. The first allegiance in Valinorth's entire history.
Whoa.
He formed an allegiance with insurgents in Mazeo. Together, they grew and created a large army, large enough to steal the Triumvirate's sacred blade.
I don't understand why he'd do that. We're fine on our own. We always have been.
Times are changing and leaving us behind. I'm afraid that Valinorth is a dying culture, Valessa. What I am about to tell you must not leave this room.
What is it?
You know of Salberg, right? How it houses the spirit idol of Valinorth.
Yes, of course. But it's been blocked off for a long time. I've never gone to see a spirit idol in person.
I'm afraid it might remain that way. Seer, on the eve of your birth, it went dark. Valinorth is living unlimited spiritual energy.
There's no way I believe that, Milas. Our connection with the spirits is eternal.
I wish that were the case, Fortem. It pains me to say this, but it's true. You are the last seer we shall ever have. Normally, the spirit idol chooses a child. That child is imparted with a surge of spiritual energy. When they pass away, it does the same to the next generation. But you, seer, it gave everything to you. Like the spirit realm is making one final push. I don't know why, but I have my theories.
It sounds like the spirits have given up on us. Perhaps we took their gift for granted and abused them. Without that idol and their energy, what will happen to us?
I expect that Valinorth will become like any other nation. We'll take history into our own hands, rather than act on guidance. It's not a bad thing, and I don't think the spirits gave up on us. In fact, I think it's the opposite. They're placing all of their hope on us. The seer and that blade can save us all.
Back to that blade again? What does that have to do with all of this?
It's not an ordinary blade, as you've been told. In order to harness it, you need remarkable strength. Or, in other words, a vast amount of spiritual energy. Seer, I think the spirits chose you to wield this blade. To take it, join the rebels in Mazeo, and defeat the Triumvirate. I know this is asking a lot of you, but we always follow their lead. Valinorth may be attacked, but we can rebuild from the ashes. Our true goal here should be the destruction of the Triumvirate. History should be in our hands, not in the hands of unjust gods.
So that's why your father formed this alliance? To take control of our history in the spirit's absence? And to make sure the Triumvirate doesn't dictate our future?
He wanted to strengthen our bonds with outsiders as well. Without visions, we have to take things as they come. Foresight helped us out, but we won't always have it. What we do have, however, is the potential of the seer. I think that's why he sacrificed himself to get this blade. He knew that you'd be able to wield it and achieve liberation. Please, take the blade and flee to Mazeo. When the ceremony is supposed to start, I'll tell the people. They're all rounding up, so it'll be easy to evacuate. We might be a bit behind, but we'll meet in Mazeo. There's lots to plan, and little time to plan it. We'll need new homes and blades for any volunteers. As far as I can tell, this is not up for debate. If you think it is, then consider it in order from your elder. Leave as soon as you are able, and we'll meet again soon.
Listen, I'm gonna try and be the voice of reason here. Milas said a lot of stuff, and it could be true or false. But if an attack is coming, we should go either way. Especially if there's a weapon we can use. I think we should grab it from the Grand Tree first. Again, not siding with anyone here, just using logic.
Yeah, you're right. We do the same thing, even if Miles didn't tell us to. Find something to defend ourselves with, and leave Valinorth. But he said the spirits gave you all their power? And they cut their influence from Valinorth for good? This changes Alestia's entire history, not just our actions. I can't say I fully understand, but it makes sense. Miles' father foresaw all this and took action. I feel hatred, but at the same time, I feel hope.
Let's take this one step at a time, Valessa. We'll grab the weapon and make our way out of here. The rest can fall into place as we move on.
So, to the Grand Tree then? I'll try to maintain one modicum of sanity. It's not like our lives were just turned around.
I'm sure we'll manage as long as we're together. I'm not giving up on any of you. I promise. There's nothing we can't do if we all pitch in. Let's go to the Grand Tree and get that blade.
Come on, Grizz, this must be possible. Even their honor guard barely monitors the place. When they do, they're oblivious to our existence. If we don't push them, they won't push back. Although, one final push might be required. Either way, we need that deed as a rightful claim.
Damek, for the last time, it's not so simple. If the Triumvirate knew I was helping you, they'd kill me. I wouldn't be surprised if they damaged Mazeo as well.
Oh, come on, it's not that risky. We'll operate silently. They'll never know.
Everything has a paper trail, Damek. They keep track of every step I take. At the end of the day, I'm still their general. I understand that you want those tunnels, but it would be too risky. They'd find us out. I'm not gambling with my life, understand?
With them,
Damek, is that a threat?
Of course not. We're too close for that. Close enough that you won't have to find out. I'm sure we can come to some sort of deal.
Mazeo has rubbed off on you. I'd expect such tactics from pirates, not you. I have to say, you'd need something big to woo me.
They dig for 20 years and find nothing. I use my forces and we find it in days. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is it.
Damek, I don't believe this. This is what I've been looking for. You must tell me where it is.
A deed might sweeten the deal for me. Besides, you can report this finding to the Triumvirate. They'll be so ecstatic they won't notice anything else.
It is a big deal, and it might sate them. But they'd likely send forces here immediately. You want me to put a target on your new HQ?
Actually, their forces will be preoccupied. I have word that they're undertaking another mission. We'll have plenty of time to occupy and fortify.
I can't believe you found it, Damek. If you want the deed, you must give me exclusive access. Nobody else can touch it. I have my plans, and that's final.
Of course, I'd be more than happy to, but you might have to wait a bit longer. Tapping into it requires some special means. But I promise you won't be waiting much longer, so please, if you would hand over the deed, and once they arrive, it's all yours.
Such a truth. And to think I never knew. This will change everything about my approach.
Master, you seem unwell. We leave tomorrow. You should get some rest. I know I'm not the one to give orders, but please.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It seems there is more to this attack than we knew. The Triumvirate just finished explaining our true objective.
Our true objective? Sovi, what is the meaning of this?
I don't think I'm able to tell you, Halen. They trusted me alone with this information. Perhaps you can visit them on your own time.
Typical. Teasing me with information and pulling rank. I want to prove myself, Sovi. I want to be at your side.
Trust me, that would be wonderful. But this is different. It changes everything. It would be better to hear it directly from them.
All right, all right. I have to say, you seem quite distressed. I'll go talk to them, but take my advice and rest.
I'm afraid there's no time for that, Halen. I'm going to speak with the prisoner. He's coming too.
Shane is coming with us? Sovi, that doesn't make any sense.
It seems a run-in with the rebels is likely. To that end, I've come up with a fitting punishment. When you're done with our masters, meet me back here.
Yes, of course. I'm ready to take action at a moment's notice. And now, something tells me we will be.
On Valinorth's blood leaves. Though it doesn't look like it at first glance, Valinorth is actually settled high atop the mountains of Alestia. Many believe that it is the spiritual energy that keeps our village and its surrounding areas warm. But the reach of this energy is not infinite, and it cannot affect the colder climate seen in Eastcrown. We don't venture into Eastcrown simply because our bodies would not be able to handle it. Either way, that is a separate story, and I wish to touch upon the blood leaves native to Valinorth. At the very top of the grand tree, for an unknown reason, the leaves grow a crimson red. We have no explanation for this, though some people believe that these are the tears from the departed, trying to reach our physical realm. A superstition, to say the least. Every few years, a gale of cold wind comes from Eastcrown and assaults the canopy of Valinorth. This causes many of the leaves to wilt and fall off. The wind carries these dead leaves on a journey through Alestia's skies, including the aforementioned blood leaves. The rest of the world sees the falling of the blood leaves as an omen, a portent of bad things to come. The sky being painted red with these leaves may look scary to some, but those who live in Valinorth see it as a natural event. The Elder of Valinorth.
Eastcrown is a pretty scary place. I've thought about going there, but I'm too scared. Apparently, it's cold enough to kill you in minutes.
The fall of the blood leaves is beautiful, though. I've seen it a couple of times since I was born. Not sure what other purpose Eastcrown serves.
Valinorth's line of seers. The seers of Valinorth have helped guide our nation to a state of constant peace. Everyone in Valinorth lives a simple and happy life under the guidance of the spirit realm. There's only one seer or seeress per generation, and their birth is marked by a surge of energy emanating from our spirit idol located in Solberg. There's a rotation of guards who watch the idol when a birth is expected to take place. As there can only be one seer or seeress at any given time, and the spans of time without them are very small, we can accurately predict when another shall be given to us. With Valinorth's small population, it is very rare for multiple births to happen on one night. However, that is not the purpose of my writing. I wish to discuss what was observed on the night of the most recent generation. Typically, the spirit idol will have a burst of light and energy before returning to a dim state. However, with the latest birth, there was no dim state. Only darkness remained when the final seer was given to us. The implications that this has on the future of both Valinorth and Alestia are too large to even fathom. We must simply take each day as it comes, knowing our dependence on the spirits will grow smaller and smaller. Now, we must come to rely on the rest of Alestia, instead of only ourselves. I will seek out potential partners in the future. The Elder of Valinorth.
I had no idea that they were hiding such a secret. Valinorth could run out of spiritual energy for good? The cold from Eastcrown could easily kill us off.
Horton, don't worry. It could be thousands of years before we run out. Besides, at this point, it's still conjecture. Hey, it's a ladder. Hey. You mean everything that Milas told us? I'm freaking out. I can hardly believe it. But the spirits would never lie to us, right? I can't believe the Triumvirate is our enemy. I know they had their reasons with Mazeo, but there's no reason to attack Valinorth. Not at all. Then why don't they ask for it? There's no need to attack us like this. Makes me wonder if there's more to Mazeo. They said they took it over to fight piracy. But I think they're acting in their own interest. Burning down our village? They don't care about Alestia. It only makes sense, right? It must have something to do with the spirits. Tyrants can't stand when something is in their way. I always thought they were good rulers. Sometimes you have to make tough decisions. Mazeo shocked us all, but we've all moved on. There's also a line you're not meant to cross, though. Burning down an innocent village is way past that. No goal could justify what they plan to do with Valinorth. Honestly, I don't know. I usually look to you when I think about that. But without spiritual energy, things will change. We're up in mountains, and the spirits keep us warm. Without them, Valinorth would freeze and wilt away. We'd have to migrate to Mazeo, like Mila said. One thing I know is that the Triumvirate is ruined. There's no way people will side with this attack. It's only a matter of time before word starts spreading. I think I need to concern myself with Alestia's future. The rebellion will probably be swarming with new recruits. We can fight back so no one else loses their home. And it all starts with that special blade. I guess we should head to the Grand Tree. No sense leaving without it, right? There's something I never thought I'd hear. Thousands of seers, and they never left Valinorth. I guess we're meant to play bigger roles than we thought. But to answer your question, no, I'm not ready. Unfortunately, my opinion doesn't count for much. I'll have to come to terms with this as we move on. No, I wouldn't want to trouble you. You have enough going on. I'd just be a bother. Thanks for the offer, though. I'll keep it in mind. I'll decide when I see it. You and Milas made it seem really incredible. But at the end of the day, it's just a sword. I doubt it'll be the turning point of this battle. Of course, I wouldn't mind being proven wrong. What else can you tell me about it? So, the more he killed, the more he had to serve him? And Ulrich's life powered a bunch of armored suits? That means their army could always outnumber Alestia. I'm starting to see why it might be a threat. But we won't be stealing life like that, right? We should keep it from them and limit their numbers. Good. I was starting to worry. Without that blade, their army is finite. They can't hide behind numbers like before. So it still works as a standard weapon. But I'm curious about the other functions it has. We'd never do this for a run-of-the-mill sword. Wait, that's really confusing. It looks like a blade, but serves another purpose? Tell me more. I'd like to know what makes it special.
Hey. It's a little overwhelming, to be honest. I know I acted all cool, but I'm not really sure. I'm used to a simple life. Now that's all gone. As far as I know, Valinorth is the last spiritual nation. If we lose our connection, what's going to happen? Will Alestia just be completely devoid of spirits? And not only that, but the Triumvirate being evil? As far as I know, they've always been benevolent. I know what we lost in Mazeo, but I've moved on. Anyway, I can process all of that later. I'm more worried about what's going to happen to us, not Valinorth or Alestia. Just you, me, and Valessa. Nothing anymore, I'm afraid. Seems their goals have changed to conquest. With Mazeo, it made sense, but not with us. I thought they were our gods, our protectors. I'm starting to doubt that they even cared. I mean, was this their goal all along? All 4 nations, under their thumb. If they just asked first, we could have cut a deal. But straight to violence? I don't get it. Yeah, there's no sense begging for lenience. Normally, I'd say that it's impossible to win. But with that blade, things seem different to me. Milas said it was important to them, right? If they're weak, we can't hold back. This is our chance to save Alestia. Yeah, but not as good as us. Alestia would be better if the spirits were everywhere. Valinorth is perfect, and we were truly lucky to live here. But I guess those days are coming to an end. Without spiritual energy, we'll succumb to the cold. The winds from Eastcrown will take over Valinorth. I hope there's something we can do. Maybe after this, we should come back home. If we could just get that idol to shine again. Thanks. That means a lot to me. But I wouldn't want to come off as whiny. Right now, we need to combine our strengths. The pity party seems appealing, but it'd be a waste. We can't afford to throw away the sacrifice of Milas' father. Yeah, definitely. We're a team for a reason. There's nothing we can't handle. I'm ready whenever you are. Let's grab that blade and head to Mazeo. Whatever you need, I'll be by your side. I never thought I'd be leaving Valinorth. In fact, I came to terms with that a long time ago. But here I am, leaving it behind for good. And I'm scared. Everything I've read about the outside world is scary. Piracy, deathly cold, and even deathly heat. We had it good here. A really nice middle ground. This is where it gets confusing for me, though. Mazeo was supposed to be safer because of the Triumvirate. They occupied it, with force, but they've kept it peaceful. They could easily do the same thing to Valinorth, but killing everyone? And burning it to the ground? They've crossed a line that no one ever should. Maybe Dominic will tell us more about that. I'm sure there's a lot to catch up on. This rebellion isn't exactly new. I'm willing to bet there's more at play. But with Valinorth, there's nothing secret at all. They're planning to raise our village, plain and simple. You mentioned that it might be for the blade? That excuse would never fly for an attack this large. At least for Mazeo, they said they were fighting piracy. I'm sure they want their blade back, but yeah, that desire and this attack are 2 separate things. I'm sure we'll find out the truth if we keep moving forward. I'm sure it might be worse in my head, but with all the stuff I've read, it's still scary. I'm used to routine, so anything new is frightening. Mazeo is full of merchants, pirates, and mercenaries. Let's do our best not to make anyone mad. You never know how far their influence spreads. Which is boring if you ask me. I'll try not to say anything witty. Pirates aren't the best with humor. Besides, I'm sure Dominic will be there waiting. He'll make sure we get off to the right start. We're going to Mazeo. We'll need protection. That's what worries me about all of this. They push, and we're expected to push back. What if we don't like fighting? That fight or die mentality is a terrible thing. It can drive good men to do horrible things. Please, don't let that happen to you, Seer. Good. I'm glad you're putting thought into it. Don't act recklessly in the face of victory. Victory is nothing if we can't share it together. I wouldn't mind taking one last look at the village. It's so weird, knowing that an attack is coming. This could be the last time we see our homes. how are we just supposed to accept that? I expect we'll have plenty of time to grieve, but is that something we should really have to do? We don't have to look around, but I'd appreciate it. If I find something I want to take with me, I'll grab it. I'd much rather leave Valinorth behind with no regrets. Thank you so much. I can't put my finger on it, but I know I'm not ready. One last walk through Valinorth is all I could ever ask for.
Alright, we really need to talk. Seer, what are your thoughts on all this? You've been totally silent since we left Milas.
Hey, Valessa, no prying. Let him open up when he wants to.
I'm just curious, that's all. It's not like Milas treated us to afternoon tea. Everything is different. Besides, venting can help. Yeah, I feel exactly the same. In just a couple hours, everything changed. They can't expect us to adapt that quickly.
Actually, on the subject of venting, there's something I need to get off my chest. Or, I guess, there's something I need to ask you to.
Sure, what is it?
I know we don't like talking about this, and sometimes we pretend it never even happened. But we can't anymore. We're going to Museo. So I think now we need to face the facts. That's the last place our parents were... I mean, they were there when it happened.
Casualties of the occupation.
Now we have the chance to fight back against the Triumvirate. They were directly responsible for what happened there. Are we doing this for Alestia? Or for ourselves?
You mean revenge? Fortim, I don't know how to answer that. All of our parents... That was so long ago.
I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not. But we can't just fight because Milas told us to. We each need a purpose, even if they're different.
I guess I want Alestia's freedom. Is that not reason enough to fight?
That's a goal, Valessa, not a purpose. Let me ask the Seer, why do you fight? What weight will you carry with that blade? That's a great purpose, Seer. With better rulers, people won't suffer anymore. Every time you swing that blade, remember your answer. I have more to say though, so hold on. Our parents went to Museo together, as a group of friends. Now, we're doing the same. And trust me, I'm worried. They got caught up in a fight, and we will too. But I don't want to die. I want to save Alestia. So promise me, we'll stay together. Right until the end. There we go! That's the spirit! With that attitude, we'll never lose. Now let's get that blade and head to Museo.
Yeah, I'm about ready to get off this bridge. Not exactly the best place for a heart-to-heart. Though, honestly, I'm glad you opened up. And actually, I think I found my purpose. I want to fight to protect my closest friends. So, about that promise, I'll be here, right until the end.
Wait, That's it?
There's a letter attached to it. Let's see what it says.
Wait, hold on. I don't think we're supposed to touch it. We should probably leave this one to the seer.
I'm sure it's fine as long as it's covered up. Very well. Feel free to do the honors.
Well, what does it say?
Instructions from Milas. Thank you for following my directions. It's good to know we'll be able to work with each other on this grand endeavor. Hidden inside this package here is the blade we talked about earlier, otherwise known as the Blade of Exodus. I'm not sure why it's been given such a name, but it was the Triumvirate's choice. As soon as you take it, please ensure that it never leaves your sight. A guide, Zamira, will be waiting for you on Main Street. He'll guide you to Peregrino, where you'll meet up with Pro, a trusted ally and longtime rebel. From there, Pro will guide you to Mazeo. Pro might seem a bit incompetent at first, but he's simply been following my orders. Having him come here and get you, as Damek originally planned, was much too risky. Instead, I told him to pass time in the tavern until you bring the blade to him. I had Zamira meet him in the dead of night in Valinorth's outskirts to retrieve the blade and bring it to where you are now. This way, no villagers were aware, and there was no chance of complications arising. I'm sure Damek will understand this delay. One final thing. I authorize you with access to Solberg, now that you know its secret. Feel free to stop there on your journey.
The Blade of Exodus. That's a bit of a weird name, isn't it? Do you think that's the person who made it?
Or maybe it's a title for whoever wields it. You know, something like Seer or Cirrus. What about it? Should we call you Exodus?
Yeah, especially if the Triumvirate wants it back. Walking around as Exodus would put a huge target on us. That's not something we can afford if we want to blend in.
All right. Forget I suggested it. Let's get out of here before we waste too much time. We're supposed to meet someone named Zamira, right?
I know them. They typically guard the town gate. No better person to carry out a secret mission in the night. I'm glad we'll have a guide. I was starting to worry we'd get lost.
Yeah, none of us have ever left Valinorth before. I'm sure it'll be great. We can even check out Solberg. Grab the blade, Seer. The villagers would never question you. You mean this was all just a trap? No, I don't believe it. I'm not giving up.
To think all of that was stored in this. After we tell the people, everything will change.
We will aid you in this fight, but you are no longer a rebellion. Today, you become something much more.
Wait! Think about what you are doing! Without us, there is no freedom!
Don't worry, nothing personal. Just playing with the hand I've been dealt.
What happened?
Wait, how is that possible? The spirits are the ones who give visions. Could it have something to do with your energy?
Valessa, it doesn't matter. For now, we just need to make sure he's safe.
Ugh, right, sorry. Will you be okay? Can you move? Good. I'm glad to hear. Miles left a change of clothes for you. It was tucked underneath the blade, see? Maybe Miles knew that touching it was risky. If you wear this outfit, you can sheath the blade. It might be best to conceal it and minimize contact.
Wait, then why didn't he tell us that? Seems like a stupid thing to leave out.
I guess you have a point. Oh, well, I'm glad that things are fine. You should go get changed, Seer.
Whoa! That looks really good on you. A lot more fitting than that fancy suit.
That's everything we need then? I mean, aside from the blade?
Look, whatever happens, we're here for you. I doubt it'll be as bad as last time. And you're fine. Well, that looked fine to me. You didn't end up on the floor, at least. Whoa, really? Miles was right then. It takes strength. Remind me not to touch that thing anytime soon.
I'm curious to learn more about it. Like, where it came from and who made it. Hopefully we figure that out along the way. So, should we get going? Or is there anything else we need to do?
We're supposed to meet Zamira on Main Street, but we should save that until we're ready to leave. One last look around Valinorth couldn't hurt.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. Wouldn't want to leave anything behind.
Come on, Shane, there's gotta be something. You were supposed to break out of here ages ago. This mission is a bust. Dominic must be worried sick. Come on, you need to do this. Nobody else has come through here and lived. You're gonna be the first, Shane. I know it.
Ooh, looks like you're taking this worse than I thought. I need to talk with you, Shane, so come close.
And what makes you think I'll listen?
We haven't yet broken out the torture. But trust me, you're walking a fine line.
Whatever, just make it quick. I hate the sound of your voice. That, and I was enjoying my time alone.
You really don't care whether you live or die. Good. I like that in a potential soldier of mine.
Wait, what?
Name your weapon proficiencies.
You're the one who caught me, Sophie. You should know full well what weapons I use.
I said proficiencies. Remember how easily I took you down?
Fine. I'm good with a bow. I can play with daggers too, but not as well. Just give me some arrows and point to a target.
Good. I'll have no problem finding you a bow. We're leaving on a mission, so follow me. You'll be seeing your allies sooner than you thought. Wait, are you smiling? Shane, I don't think you know what's happening. Taking you with me? This is your punishment.
Huh?
Yes. I'll line up a few of your allies. Then you'll show me how well you handle a bow. If you don't obey, I'll make you suffer. And if you do obey, well, your friends will think you've defected. They'll give up all hope of rescuing you. Then I can keep you here as long as I like. I know you may not fear death, Shane, which is why I'll give you something far worse. Now, come with me. There's much to discuss. And remember what will happen if you disobey. It's time to realize that you belong to me.
Wow, it's so beautiful inside the Grand Tree. Too bad they rarely let the scribe in training come here. I wish I had more time to spend in Valinorth.
Actually, that's not a scribe in training rule. It was more like a Fortum rule. No offense.
What's that supposed to mean?
You're not exactly a quiet person. This is a sacred place, and silence is essential.
Why didn't you tell me? I would have been quiet, I promise. Just like when I go to the library.
Hey, I don't make up the rules, but honestly, I wish I would have fought it. I didn't realize our time here would be so limited. I thought we'd be here until we were old and gray. But to think that Valinorth would just be a small face? You're not the only one who has regrets, Fortin.
At least you were allowed inside. I was kept out because of my big mouth. Well, I guess I'm the only one to blame. I'll try to watch my mouth from now on.
I give you 10 minutes, tops.
Hey! Mark my words, Seer. One day, I'm going to climb the Grand Tree. It's my calling. I can feel it. Look, you can see some of the roots. They say the Grand Tree reaches all over Alestia. In that way, Valinorth is connected to everything.
We can sail to Mazeo in under a day. There's a ship waiting for us at the Balteus docks. As soon as Halen arrives, we'll be free to go.
Odd choice of words. I highly doubt I'll be free to go. Though I'm a little excited that Halen is coming along. He was much better than you, more threatening as well.
Shane, this isn't about being threatening. It's about who can put their foot down when they need to. Halen is all talk. Lots of promises, but no follow-through.
Right, of course. Thanks for the heads up. I'll remember that next time he tries interrogating me. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you didn't like him.
I doubt he's long for this world. A Grand Inquisitor needs to be more than talk. That, and I work much better when I'm alone.
Working alone, huh? I don't think that's a very good idea. What if you get into a bind? Who'd help you then?
I don't get into binds, Shane. I'm more in the habit of putting them on others.
Yeah, we'll see how far that gets ya. So, what's the plan anyway? Attacking Valinorth? You want the blade back, Halen made it pretty clear.
Now, why would I tell you that? Don't assume camaraderie between us.
Fine, just trying to get involved.
So you can write to your rebel friends, no doubt. Don't try anything, Shane. I'm watching you. Besides, Valinorth is an insignificant part of our plan. When we're finished, Alestia will be forever changed.
I guess that settles it. The deed is yours. You have lots of work to do, Damek. What comes first?
Lots of dusting, I presume. Though there's something odd about these tunnels. The Honor Guard has no need to eat, sleep, or socialize. Being empty suits of armor, they need none of that. But go any deeper and you'll see an entire hideout. Bedrooms, training rooms, a library, and more.
Maybe that's why they never found what we were after. They were too busy building some sort of utopia.
It'll be easy to fortify against attacks. They've practically done it for us already. I just wish I knew why. It's so peculiar.
I have a theory of my own, actually.
And what is that?
You know how those things are created, yes? The Grand Inquisitor and that life-stealing sword. Well, he was at my side when we occupied Mazeo.
I see.
The members of the Honor Guard that wander these tunnels. I think they're the spirits of those we killed, Damek. Perhaps they just want to continue living. It's heartbreaking.
That's an understatement. But it explains the beds and living quarters. And if they retain some memory, they'd hate the Triumvirate.
Yeah, which is why they never completed their job. Or at the very least, intentionally threw their progress.
A theory with merit, I'll give you that much. But now we found what you're after, what happens? I think you should tell me what you really want with it.
You can think all you want, but it won't happen. Just know that I'm looking to make up for something. I can never undo the occupation, but I have an idea.
Very well, whenever you're ready. As long as I have the deed, I'm satisfied. When the seer arrives, however, I'd love to hear more.
So, this might be the last time we see the town square. Is there anything we should do before we go?
I guess one last drink would be nice. The water from Valinorth is always so pure. Want to share some with me, Valessa?
Sure. We can use the cups I left here earlier. I was just finishing my water run when we all met up.
So, what should we toast to?
Toast?
Yeah, this is a big day, right? We should probably drink to something, especially if it's the last time we might be here.
Oh, let's see. What about new beginnings? Or something like being with friends?
What about new beginnings with friends? I think that's rather fitting for us.
Sounds good to me. To new beginnings with friends. May our bonds never break. Hey, Fortem. Remember those apples you used to love?
Yeah, how could I forget? You can't get them anymore, though. The Triumvirate put a trading ban on Mazeo.
Remember that time I tricked you? I painted a bunch of rocks red and put them in a basket. I told you the trading ban was lifted. You were ecstatic.
Yeah, and that was really mean. My parents used to give them to me before, you know. That made me cry more than you'd think.
Yeah, and I just wanted to apologize. This whole ordeal has me thinking about the past. I wish I spent my time in Valinorth a bit better.
Oh, well, I accept your apology. Better late than never, right?
Yeah, of course. Once we get to Mazeo, I'll buy you some for real. An apology is lame. I'm gonna make up for what I did.
So, Valessa, do you see him anywhere? I don't know what he looks like, so this is on you.
Yeah, sorry, I'll point him out. I'm just not used to the villagers staring like this. Our blade really makes us stand out, doesn't it?
Or maybe they're just admiring our good looks. Come on, Valessa, don't be so uptight. Nobody knows what this blade can do. Let him stare.
Wait, I see him. Hey, Zamira, how's your watch going?
Hey, Valessa, long time no see. Can't complain, things are pretty much the same. This is the most excitement I've had in years. Whoa, that thing looks pretty cool. I've heard a few stories, but didn't get to see it. You'll have to tell me more as we head to Peregrino.
Wait, hold on. I have a few questions to ask.
Oh, sure. Let's walk and talk. If I'm not mistaken, we're on a schedule.
So, you know what's coming, right? I just need to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do. But Milas has a plan to keep everyone safe, and at the very least, we have a few days to prepare.
I'm confused, though. He knew about this attack, and from what he said, he's known for a while. Why give up Valinorth? Why not fortify and prepare?
Actually, I heard something about that. Damek, the leader of the rebels, had a vision. Apparently, that blade is more than just a weapon.
Wait, other people can use it then?
No one else has tried, to be honest, but in his vision, he saw the Triumvirate fall. The cost was clear. Valinorth fell as well.
Who says they both need to happen? We could take them down without abandoning Valinorth. Isn't it a little short-sighted to do something like that?
We don't really know for sure, Valessa, but it sure makes sense to replicate what he saw. That way, the rebellion's victory is guaranteed. Besides, Milas will evacuate everyone that's willing. Valinorth can be resettled in the future. I know it. I just worry about those who don't buy into the story.
What do you mean?
Well, some people will be stubborn. We can't force them to leave. We just encourage it. Those that stay behind, well, there's nothing we can do.
That's true. And it lines up with the vision. The seer mentioned that lots of villagers perished. Isn't there something we can do to help them cooperate?
We should focus on ourselves, Valessa. There's no point wasting time on something we can't change. Let's get away from these prying ears. I have some more news.
Oh my gosh, this is intense. I've heard the stories, but I thought they were exaggerating. We shouldn't stay here too long. I feel like I'm gonna die.
Ugh, Fortum, don't be so dramatic. I'm sure we have time to examine the area. Just don't go in any further, alright?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry. Look, I can see my breath. How cool is that?
I'll admit, that is pretty cool. Barely out of Valinorth and already seeing new stuff. I'm guessing it has something to do with the cold?
It's insane. I can't believe how much the spirits help us. Without their power, this is what Valinorth would look like. They keep us warm and let our village fight off the cold.
If Milas is right, then this is Valinorth's future. It's only setting in now that I see it for myself. There must be something we can do to save our village.
I sure hope so. Let's take a quick look around. It'd be dangerous to stay here for too long. Hey, move it, Valessa! You're hogging all the heat.
No way! Your outfit is much warmer than mine.
It doesn't matter. Do you want me to die or something?
Are you sure you want the answer to that question?
What? Hey, are you sure you should be taking that?
It was covered in snow, Fortum. Whoever owned it probably forgot about it already. Besides, it might contain some useful information.
I guess you're right. But at least put it back when you're done with it. I don't want to get in trouble if the owner does come looking.
Alright, you have a deal. So, Seer, what does it say?
Mysterious journal. This is it. I've finally done it. For the last 10 years, I've been training my body to handle East Crown's cold climate. At the start, I could barely make it a few feet without having to stop. But now, I can almost last an entire day before I need to back out. I know that the answers are now within reach. What purpose does East Crown serve? How much of Alestia is uncharted? I'm planning one final journey into these icy mountains, and I know I'll find the truth. I'll see off my wife and child tomorrow and leave my journal by the entrance. Should I make it out of this alive, the following pages will be filled with wonders and revelations upon my return. We will finally understand. The rest of the pages are empty.
Well, what's the news? Is everything okay, Zamira?
I guess everything is fine. Technically. It's just something I need to tell you in private. The villagers will have enough on their plates tonight.
So it's something that affects them too?
More than that, actually. Look, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm sure Valinorth will be resettled in the future.
I'm glad you think so, Zamira. I was starting to worry about everything. It seems like Milas has everything under control.
Yeah, about that, this is where it gets a little awkward. You see, he didn't really tell you everything.
What? Really?
This is starting to get pretty overwhelming. He seemed pretty open. What was he hiding? I don't think I can handle another revelation.
It was probably too embarrassing for him to admit, but he doesn't really want to lead Valinorth anymore. He told me when he gets to Mazeo, he's staying for good.
That can't be true.
He was doing such a good job.
He was, but I understand where he's coming from. It's possible to be good at something you don't enjoy. He deserves a fresh start, a pursuit of his own choosing.
I guess so. Then what about resettling Valinorth? Who'd be in charge when that happens?
People would migrate back too slowly. We'd be in no shape to hold a formal election. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but that means
Bingo.
the seer.
Does somebody want to fill me in?
Matters of Valinorth's future. With no elder, they're under the jurisdiction of the seer. Believe it or not, he gets to choose the next leader.
A contingency plan for special cases like this. The only condition is that you can't choose yourself. Your duty and role in Valinorth is already well established. Take your time, evaluate the candidates, and think about it. Again, it's not really bad news, it's just another change.
There's really nothing to think about, though. Choose me, then I won't be the third wheel anymore. We can be a trio, and work together all the time.
Hey now, let's not jump to conclusions. I think I'd be a fine candidate for elder. Fortum was trained to fill the gap I'd leave.
Oh my, I should have expected this. Sorry to put you in an awkward situation.
It's only awkward if Valessa makes it awkward.
Whatever.
Look! This might not be relevant for years to come. There's no need to argue about this. Stay focused. We have a really important job on our hands, you know? None of you know where Peregrino is, right? If I start walking without you, you'll get lost. I'll give you a few minutes, but I'm on a schedule. Good. That's what I thought. Take a few moments to talk amongst yourselves. But when you're ready to go, we need to move as fast as we can.
All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Digging tunnels underneath their own church. I guess it makes sense. Nobody really comes here. Mazeo isn't exactly known for its pious people.
Easy to get away with. Though I have to say, it's pretty ironic, the rebellion settling in the Triumvirate's church.
A bit poetic, isn't it? Maybe after this we can settle in their castle.
One step at a time. Let's not get carried away. I'll write them and let them know what we found. After all these years, I'm not sure how to feel.
Relieved, with a side of being terrified. At least that's how I feel about all of this. Finding another spirit idol. This changes everything.
I always assumed that was the idol, at the altar. It was always so dim. We just thought that it was dying, but it was receiving power from something deep underground. It's nice to know that the theories were correct. The search was starting to feel like a lost cause.
The only lost cause is their pursuit of conquest. Let them know what you found. Let's get things started.
What are you planning, Damek?
I'll let you know tomorrow if everything goes well. I have to prepare for the arrival of our special guest, but trust me, I've put a lot of thought into this plan.
You've earned my trust.
It won't be long until the Triumvirate sends their forces. If I'm lucky, they might even come to see it for themselves. Right now, they're busy with Valinorth. But by the time they reroute, my army will be in place. When they set foot underground, we'll kill them all. Sophie, explain yourself immediately. You told me to wait in the castle atrium. If I did that, you would have left without me.
Oh, did I really say that? I'm sorry. I must have gotten carried away with our prisoner. How did your meeting with the Triumvirate go, Halen?
They refused to tell me these secrets. Something about my loyalty not being strong enough.
Well, look at it this way, Halen. The mission we're going on is very important. No better way to prove your loyalty to the cause.
I guess you're right, but I don't like being left in the dark.
Then you'll get along great with Shane. He's been pestering me with questions all day.
I don't fraternize with prisoners.
Whatever you say.
You know, we have a long boat ride ahead of us. Might not be a bad time to start fraternizing.
Did I stutter, Shane? Leave me be.
Oh, you think you're better than me, right? Well, here's some food for thought, apprentice. You're more a prisoner to the Triumvirate than I am.
What did you just say?
Neither of us will know true freedom. We're nothing but a means to an end. They'll kill you the moment you disobey. We have no choice but to follow orders. The difference is, you do this willingly. I have no idea why. You seem smart to me.
Hey, Zamira, what's work like?
It's a lot less exciting than you'd think. They advertise it as a position of power, busting smugglers and protecting Valinorth.
And it's not like that.
No, not at all. I spend most of my days standing around. Crime in Valinorth is almost non-existent.
Because the spirits have blessed us, right?
I guess that's one popular theory. But to be honest, I don't buy it. Spirits can't change our nature.
Nature.
Deep down inside, we're all evil. Some of us just manage it better than others. We all have our impulses. It's about controlling them.
What an odd outlook.
Hey, don't deny your impulses, Valessa. If you had to steal to get by, you'd do it. Valinorth is just special. Resources are everywhere. Mazeo has been almost completely deforested. You can't just go into the forest and find food. There's not enough natural running water either.
See, I didn't know that.
I don't blame you. Everyone in Valinorth is happy. Nobody is scraping by, you know? Imagine if food was scarce. There'd be a lot more people breaking the law. Stealing it, hurting others for it, you name it.
How do you know about all of this?
I've been to Mazeo a couple of times. Trust me, the guards there have it much harder. They don't even know if they'll survive their shifts.
Oh. Wow.
So when I say the post here in Valinorth is boring, I'm not really complaining, to be honest. I'd much prefer boring work to, you know, dying.
Hey, Zamira, about those antlers.
What about them?
You ever, hit them on a doorway? I mean, you can't be fully aware of them all the time. Yo, have you ever accidentally hit someone else with them?
I'm about to.
Whoa, okay, backing off. I was just curious. I've always wondered. How do you put a shirt on each morning?
What do you mean?
Well, you can't really slip clothes over your head. Those things would tear through any fabric.
I don't really have anything that slips over my head. I only wear things I can put my arms inside of first. You know, like button-ups or vests.
Right. I guess that makes sense. Sorry for annoying you. Please don't hit me.
Of course. I'll do my best for Tem, but I'm not responsible for any accidents.
Hey. Yeah, of course I do. If I become elder, then Fortum can take over as your scribe. It seems like the logical course of action, doesn't it? We need to figure out how to save Valinorth. After the attack, we can rebuild from the ashes. But I also want to solve our problem with the spirits. Once we restore our connection, we'll be fine. After that, it's just a matter of what we do with our nation. I'm not really a fan of what Milas and his father did. Well, they sacrificed Valinor's independence. That was the one thing that set us apart, made us unique. If we lose that, we lose Valinor's very soul. I want to keep our line of seers going. We can't lose our heritage. I'd ensure that we remain nonpartisan, just like always. Look at all the trouble these alliances have given us. Strength doesn't come from numbers, though. It comes with the ability to be ourselves, to express what's inside. Without our independence, we're no different from anyone else. Our line of seers would lose meaning. Our forests would be cut down. After a few decades, we'd be no different from Mazeo. We can't lose this beauty. I'll fight to keep it safe. I don't know, but if it's possible, I'll do it. I'll look for reading material when we get to Mazeo. Or if we ever find ourselves in Baltus, there's the Grand Library. Remember, that power still exists within you. After we defeat the Triumvirate, it won't just vanish. There must be a way to put it back into the Spirit Idol. We definitely will. We can't just let Valinorth die. Even if it takes the rest of my life, I'll keep searching. I just hope that you'll stay with me along the way. What? Why would you say something like that? It's not like you to give up so easily. We'll come back from this stronger than ever. In fact, I'm so certain I'm changing the subject. I refuse to talk about such negative things. Maybe a couple of hours, if we walk fast. It's a longer trek from there to Mazeo, though. I've never been, but I've seen maps and read books. It's not exactly my kind of place. I've never had the urge to drink ale or wine, let alone the urge to walk such a long distance. It's probably for the best. There's too much we need to take care of. Maybe we'll feel different when this is all over. What about it? They usually are. It's not like an argument between us is anything new. With a few minutes to cool off, everything will be fine. Besides, we all know what the right choice is. I'm the most qualified person in Valinorth to replace Milas. Fortum is trained to replace me. It just seems natural. Oh, of course I am. I work with Milas almost every day. I know exactly what he does. In a way, he trained me, just like his father trained him. if you chose Fortin, there'd be a learning curve. That, and I don't think he's fully qualified. Make sure not to tell him that. He'll freak out. His contact with Milas was minimal compared to mine. If he took over, he'd need to be trained from the ground up. But if Milas is retiring, I don't think he'd be willing to teach. And with no teacher, you need to find somebody already trained. I have a pretty good idea of what Milas does. I saw him every day. So I'm trained and ready to lead. Seems like an easy choice, right? I'm not sure about that, actually. It would be counterproductive, though. You already have 2 perfect candidates. We're high up on Valinorth's ladder. Not many people are. I also think that the villagers would support both of us. It seems like a natural succession of power to me. I've been thinking about that, actually. Not just you, but Dominic as well. Only a seer of Valinorth can have visions. Is there more to Dominic than we know? Or is there more to the blade than we know? I'd say it's the energy inside of you, but Dominic doesn't have that. Or does he? Basically, none of this makes any sense to me. We're watching the laws of Alestia be remade before us. So, if you're asking me for an answer, I really don't know. It's something we have to learn as we venture forward. But I have a feeling that this blade changes everything.
Hey. Wait, is this like a job interview or something? I've never been very good at selling myself. First and foremost, though, I'd reconnect with the spirits. That way, Valinorth wouldn't freeze over. A lot of people forget it's the spirits that keep us warm. After that, I guess I'd focus on what to do with the people. Actually, I'm not too sure about that. But we're about to go on a huge journey. I'll make sure to pay attention along the way. If the connection can be taken away, it can be given back. There's nothing that says this is a one-way street. So take care of that power until we can put it back. That's the spirit! Saving Alestia comes first, but Valinorth is still important. There has to be a way to do both at the same time, you know? Well, we have an important choice to make. We can follow after Milas and drop our independence, or we can distance ourselves from the other nations. Like always, right now, I think unity is important. If I were the Elder, I'd band our world together. We could live in harmony and trade freely. I know I hate the trade ban they put on Mazeo, but this isn't personal. Lifting those bans and uniting the nations would create peace. Isn't that our goal at the end of this, Seer? Awesome! I'm glad you agree. The rebellion is founded on unity, and it's strong. Each nation on its own would stand no chance of winning. The Triumvirate won't be the last threat Alestia faces. It's stupid to think that we'd have an eternal peace. We can't band together now only to split up after. You mean like cleaning and climbing trees? I guess you're right, but I like to do more than that. I always say that making people smile is my favorite. So if my work could keep an entire village happy, well, I couldn't think of a better job if I tried. I want to be more than just a scribe in training. Really? I'm glad to hear that. I always felt like I was meant for something more. When I heard about this opening, I knew right away. This is my calling. I'm sure of it. Just keep that in mind when you make the final choice. I'm not sure when that'll be, but I'm ready. I'm positive. She's doing a fine job as your scribe. Having me as the Elder would utilize my full potential. I don't mean to brag, but I spend a lot of time with Milas. As a scribe in training, I'm just held back. I don't think I'll ever need to take Valessa's position, so why not let me take another position instead? Look, all I ask is that you think about it, alright? At the end of the day, we're the 2 best candidates. There's no election here. The choice will rest upon you. He's pretty cool, and I dig the antlers. I can't believe I've never spent more time with him. But it makes sense, if he's always guarding the gate. Valessa seems to know more about him, actually. I guess he'll be coming with us to Mazeo? Milas is going to evacuate everybody soon. Well, I thought so. till you just said that. What reason do we have not to trust him? He's been protecting Valinorth for years, remember? If we couldn't trust him, he'd be our enemy. And if he was our enemy, he'd be working for the Triumvirate. With everything we know, I'd say that's impossible. Well, the surroundings are still pretty familiar. I expect it'll hit me harder once we get to Mazeo. I know it'll be different, but is that good or bad? There's one thing that worries me about all of this, though. We may very well run into the man that killed our parents, whether it's this Sovi guy or the General of Mazeo. It could even be one of those empty suits of armor, actually. The thing is, I won't know what to do when I see them. I could cry and run away, or be overtaken with rage. Don't let me do anything stupid, alright? I'm counting on you to help keep me in line. Thanks, Seer. I know I can always count on you. It's gonna be scary, but we'll face it together.